Ooh, take one, video one. Hi. The name is John. Yeah, let's keep it at that. And this is my testimony. Um, my walk with Christ was different, to say the least. Started out with, as long as I can remember, as a child. But obviously, that was me going to church with family, not really about me going to church. Okay. Um, as far as early as I remember going to the church with my mom, with my cousins, Catholic church. My father, different denomination, used to go to that church too, Sunday school. One of the first time I really enjoyed church was, in that time. But then, as soon as it became my decision to go, it felt weird. I didn't know what to do. With Sunday school, there was a bit of an incentive. There was a little bit of push for me to just go there and be there with the other kids. Because it was fun. And there were other people I knew from school, and that made it more palatable. I was able to be there in that space and, you know, be a kid, sing the songs, and take in the verses. And to some extent, I still said my prayers, and it was all good. And then I disconnected for a time. As my life got, I don't want to say better, I don't want to say worse. As my life progressed, faced some challenges, depression, crazy bouts of sin in it. It's not like I'm 100% clean now, but did the best I could. And then all throughout high school, I don't think I went to church, and that was a personal choice due to fear and circumstances I was living under. Really didn't go. Didn't want to take the, I don't want to say risk, chance. Yes, didn't want to take the chance. And then 1 year after high school, I took the leap. So I started going to the Catholic Church, and it was palatable, but something was missing. It felt like I just wanted to go to church because, being with Jesus is the cool thing now, or at least depending on the interests that I was a part of. That's a story for a different day. And because of that, I started going down that road. And then after a month or two, I just left the Catholic Church. This was shortly after I turned 18. And then after all of that, I just started to not go to church. And then a year after that, after I turned 19, a month after that, I met some people at I started going to university. I met some people during my first semester. They had a chat with me and my friend group. And then they invited us to this place, to this restaurant. They said, hey, come over. We're having an event here. Please come. And they did say it was a church event. So we went there. We had some amazing conversation. We were shocked because we're like, oh, wow, white people, right? Or at least people from foreigners came to our school. They were super friendly. Didn't seem racist. Didn't seem cult-like. So at the very least, we could try it out. We went there. It was a really cool place. It was one of the first times I've ever stepped foot in that specific place, despite walking past it hundreds, if not thousands of times, because it's in my city. Cool. And I walked in there and I had a conversation. I remember this man, I call him Uncle Steven now, but he was giving his testimony that one of the times like he felt his call to Jesus was basically, you know, he was running he owned a business as a mechanic, and he was trying to work, make ends meet. I think he was trying to also fix up something, or at least get, oh no, he was trying to get his house repaired or something. And um and in the midst of all of that, he ended up getting an enormous amount of money, which was a lot more than what he actually needed. And it actually came from the person who actually had to do that job, the person that he was supposed to pay. And that was the blessing that opened his eyes. And I believe that is a miraculous tale, because when I first heard it, I was like, I was a man of probability. I was a man of science. I didn't really fully take it as humanity just trying to express, recreate, and discover what God has made. You know, though sometimes we do move in unpredictable ways. We try to alter things, it leads to the extinction of some things, and just changing things to a point where we don't know what the natural version of something is anymore, and we only know about things from history books. But that's a story for a different day. Yeah, and that's when I started going to church again. And I guess this would be the story of how I got to church, but there's more. Yeah, close up, cool. Um, then there was another story. Started going to church, and it was a bit different. This church had a live band, all these live singers. Okay, cool. The people in the chairs, or the pews, the chairs. Then we had people up there, and then we had, whoa, a man and a woman pastor. Okay, this is my first time fully experiencing a woman pastor who's an actual pastor. Like, I'm usually used to like a pastor's wife being promoted to just stand there and lead the women of the church. I might be assuming too much. I'm not used to anything. I just don't know. I just have not experienced a female pastor. Let me just say it like that. Yes. So yeah, and then yeah, it took a while. Because one of the first things that blew my mind was, why, like, these people are so nice. They're so accepting. So basically, it felt like a different place. Like, it felt like off rip. This church was better than any church I've ever been to, because I was so uncomfortable because of how nice they were. And that on its own was different. And then I came to learn that this is just how it is, because I've also, this far in, almost 2 years in, I've also been the subject or the cause of making someone feel like, whoa, everyone's so nice here. The perk of being a good ambassador for Christ. Yay. But when did I really fully start my walk with God? Because I did download the Bible app, deleted it, downloaded it again. I didn't use it much until I wanted to read the story of Samson and Delilah. And I read it. I had ulterior motives then, but that's a different story for a different time. I had an ulterior motives then, and yeah, it would have been, but the story still stuck. It still taught me a lot more than I had wanted or had thought it would teach me. And I've since read that story like 2 more times. And my walk with God truly started around August 2025. After a long bout of depression, lust, self-hatred, just a whole bunch of teenage, now let me not even say teenage, this was a hell of my own making. Being a teenager had nothing to do with it. 2 months, and then obviously August comes, and I'm like, from the first day of August, I'm changing my life around. I can't be moving like this, because I knew that the second day of August, I had to go to school. I was starting a new semester, which means it was a brand new day, brand new life for me. It was a good starting point. And that entire semester was different, because in that semester, I got to experience a lot of things. I got closer with friends, including the person who saved me. Like, he never even mentioned God once, unless he was talking about his own journey with it. But he saved me. He was there for me in my darkest moments where I was doing the craziest thing. I read the craziest things. And that's a story for a different time. And I definitely want to tell all these stories that I keep saying are different for a different time. Yeah. Um, but yeah, through that friend being there for me, through my own pushing myself and committing myself to doing certain things, me getting a girlfriend for the first time in 8 years, and then unfortunately having to break up with her within less than 2 months, and then less than 2 weeks later, I meet my now girlfriend, and we've been together in a godly relationship ever since. So my true story of how I came to walk with God truly started way early in August 2025, because that's exactly where I started seeking Him out, where I started feeling His presence, the difference in positivity. Yeah.